Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I want to talk about the power of writing letters. This is huge. There's so many people out there who call their attorney or call the school or talk to the school or talk to a doctor or talk to the police. And when you talk on the phone, like I say in all of my videos, or a lot of videos, when I mention talking on the phone, I tell you that record doesn't exist. You have to think, how am I going to prove this in court later? How am I going to hold somebody accountable? How am I going to prove that I gave somebody a warning in case I have to sue them later? Letter writing. I have a packet on the link below where all my links are. A lot of people put in the comments, how do I get a hold of you? Look in the description of the video like you do with any other video you ever look at anywhere else. Or in the comments or in the bio of my Instagram. All my contact information is there. Now, some of the videos aren't updated because I changed it. But a lot of times people are saying, how do I get a hold of you? My number's right there. All you got to do is click. Some of you are in the jam that you're in because you don't use any common sense or you're too lazy to move your mouse and click a couple times and look for some more help. A lot of people tell me, man, if I would have found you a long time ago, I wouldn't be in this predicament. Yeah, you did. What did you do to look? Oh, I just went with a lawyer. What did you do after your lawyer screwed you? I just went with another lawyer. What did you do after that lawyer screwed you? Well, I just asked the clerk at the courthouse. You didn't even look for help, okay? Because anybody could have found me anytime after the year 2004 or so, could have found me anywhere in the country if they wanted to. So, that being said, letter writing is powerful, especially, what do you think about this? An attorney who does lawsuits or car accidents or sues people for malpractice or whatever, the vast majority of injury attorney or personal injury attorneys, all they do is write letters and scare the crap out of somebody into settling out of court. They might do a little work investigating something, but then they taunt them in a letter and people quit a case before it even starts. Or they file a court case and they taunt them in letters. Or they might do depositions and say, oh, I just grilled the crap out of you, made you look stupid. I can't wait to see you in trial and make you look stupid on the stand. Letter writing is powerful because it sends a message to somebody. Here's this on paper. Now you need to do something. Here's your warning. Here's the law. Here's the rule. Here's the legal authority. Here's your oath. Here's what you're held accountable to. And when you cite an organization or a school's own mission statement or their own ethical code that you get from their own website, that really gets at them and freaks them out because you're holding them to their own standard. Now, in my packet, I got it, like I said, in the link, I have a packet on my store. It has 29 different samples. A couple of them are the same, but like at least 10 or 12 totally different samples for doctors, lawyers, your lawyer, opposing lawyers, teachers, schools, police departments, all kinds of stuff, to fire an attorney, to demand stuff from complain about a cop, demand medical records, demand school records, demand this, demand that. You can do all of that with, nobody's going to need all of them, but one of those letters would cost you $200 to have an attorney write it. The whole packet of 29 different letter samples is $40 because I know most people aren't going to use more than 2 or 3 of them. Everybody could probably use a couple, maybe 4 or 5. You're not going to use more than that. That's a steal. Even reading that stuff to learn the language or the attitude you have to have if you don't have any balls and you haven't been standing up for yourself, just that in and of itself is priceless. For $40? But compared to what an attorney would demand, you know, it is what it is. So it's priceless, okay? So, in my own case, my baby's mom was taking my daughter to Children's Hospital in Seattle. My daughter was diagnosed with something in the womb. It turns out it's not a problem. You know, my daughter's 20 now. She was diagnosed with something in the womb and it was being monitored. And the mom was so paranoid about having a disabled child. I have a sister with Down syndrome. That doesn't challenge or faze me at all. I don't care. This one was so anxious to not be embarrassed of having a handicapped child. She was anxious for an unnecessary surgery. And she scheduled a surgery for her daughter, and she set it on a day that I set a contempt hearing. So I did a contempt motion against the mom to get her in trouble. Our daughter needs a surgery according to her. She sets that court hearing on the day that I do my contempt motion. Pretty convenient, huh? So I had to reschedule it, but since I'm relentless, I stayed at it. And I still did the contempt motion. I got her found in contempt. So, but the main point is, she wasn't telling me what she was doing at Children's Hospital. I found out through the daycare by accident, pretty much. So, the mother, when I found out, I called Children's Hospital and I said, hey, I need the records. They said, okay. And they didn't get back to me. Then there was another exchange. They didn't get back to me. And I got pissed. So I wrote them a letter and faxed it to them. I got their fax number. And when you write a letter, if it's me, I'm writing it and emailing it. And I might attach the signed version of it. You know, I do it with letterhead, my own letterhead. I put, you know, a salutation with their name, address, and all that other stuff. Or I'll put that, and then I'll put, instead of letterhead at the top, I'll put my name, address, phone number, and contact information on the bottom page. And then if it's 2 or 3 pages long, I'll go in the header and I'll put Children's Hospital, the date, and page 1 of 2, and 2 of 2. Just like a professional letter, which makes them take it more seriously. I'll fax it, I'll email it, and I'll deliver it, whether it's certified mail, priority mail. I like priority mail because if they don't sign it, it gets rejected. But priority mail, I could track it, and they slip it into a P.O. box or whatever. Or I deliver it to the other side, especially if it's a lawyer. I'll go to their office, drop it off, get a receive stamp, and now I have proof that it went to their office. So they can't say I didn't get your fax, or I didn't get your email, or I didn't get it in person, because there's 2 other ways you did it, okay? So if it's a real important one now, every little communication I have with the opposing party or attorney or whoever, I don't do all that. It's just the real important stuff, like a demand for visitation or a demand for them to stop acting crazy at a visitation exchange. I'm trying to create a paper trail of something that I didn't record or see or didn't have proof of. So I write Children's Hospital and I say, hey, I asked for my daughter's medical records 2 or 3 times already, and you guys haven't got it to me. If I don't get them in 48 hours, I'm going to report you to the State Board of Health and something else and get back to me with them. Here's the statute that gives me my right to the records. They freaked out. The head neurosurgeon at Children's called me after a day of surgeries in his office about 7 o'clock at night. That guy doesn't have time for me. He's a world-renowned brain surgeon or a neurological, not brain surgeon, but a neurological expert. He deals with the nerves, the head, a bunch of other stuff. He consulted with the NFL on NFL concussion protocol. So he's nationally renowned, worldly renowned. So anyway, he didn't have time for me, but he freaked out. My letter got them moving. I've personally written countless letters for people. When this dad, they wouldn't let him come to school and have lunch with his kid. We wrote a letter and they said, well, it's been our policy to do this. And they wrote back in a week and say, we have decided to change the entire school district's policy because we cited his constitutional rights. We cited how the mother doesn't own the children. She doesn't get to dictate stuff. She doesn't get to act like she's a custodial parent. She doesn't get to supersede his rights. If they were together and they were married, there wouldn't be any question as to which parent comes and sees the kid. Now that they've broken up, the school thinks that the father doesn't have any rights anymore and they have to get permission through the mother. They made that up in their own head. So they changed their entire school policy. He started seeing his daughter at lunch when he was able to break away from work, or I can't remember if he wasn't working then or not. But in any case, we fixed that because we made them crap their pants with a letter. And sometimes they'll pass it off to their legal team, or if it's a school, I'm forwarding the letter also to the school superintendent, the district superintendent. If it's a doctor's office, or if it's a school, I'm telling the principal, the secretary, and the district superintendent. And I'm telling them, this secretary is not even a lawyer, is sitting there telling me and giving me legal advice that I can't access my kid. They're committing the crime of practicing law without a license. They're violating my constitutional rights. When you guys hold my kid at the school and I'm trying to pick him up because you interpret the parenting plan to mean this or that, you're committing the crime of imprisonment. Because what if both parents come to school and you say you can't have your kid? You're imprisoning the child against both of our wills. And I have, when it's my time, I have these, I just was talking with a guy like this. On his time, they weren't letting him do this stuff because the mother said, I'm going to cancel out on his time because he's being investigated for something. That the parenting plan didn't get modified. So the school is trying to enforce the mother's interpreted modification of the parenting plan. And the father is like, this is my time. It's the same as if we were married and together and either one of us can come. You wouldn't question that. And now you're, and if you would, then you would be stopping us and you'd be committing the crime of imprisonment. Since the child's in my custody at this time, you're committing the crime of imprisonment. So I got all kinds of letters like that. So in my case, they reacted quickly. There's a lot of cases where dads can't get school and medical records. And they just bow down. Like when I couldn't get the records, I searched high and low. There's got to be some law or something that allows me to see this stuff. I can't remember if my mentor told me about it or not. Either way, I searched for an answer. When I'm told no and I know something's wrong, I don't stop there. That's the problem with most limp-wristed, sissy, punk, coward dads today. Somebody tells you no and you're like, oh, I'm sorry for even asking. And you shrivel up and you disappear like a punk. What if Martin Luther King would have done that the first time they said no? What if civil rights legislation, they said no at first? Or anything. You know, where there was a revolution or a change or women's suffrage. What if all the women got together and they were fighting each other like men's rights groups fight each other? And I was just on a Facebook page today and I was telling people, you know, this is why guys should go for full custody. And one guy said, you make it sound so easy. It's different in each state. There's different laws and rules. So this guy who lost, all of a sudden he's the expert on the different laws and rules in each state. My gender is amazing because they need this information. I'm sitting here saying that I won and I got proof I won, and all you can do is hate on me and say I'm making it sound easy and you're mad and you want me to sulk with you instead of giving you the answers. If someone came across my path and said, I won in court and I can prove it, and I'd say, hey, show me your parenting plan and tell me how you did it, please. How do I, that'd be my first reaction. These guys, man, you go in their sulking party and you go, hey, here's an answer. Here's a different way. This is what worked for me. This is what worked for thousands of other guys. All they want to do is hate on you because they want you to sulk. This is why there's no freaking father's rights movement. And 90% of any guy in any group is full of crap. All he wants to do is whine, pout, and bitch and moan like a little bitch. I'm sick of it, man. And then people in the comments of a lot of my videos like, oh, you're just up there bragging and you're being so harsh and this and that. I could be harsh because I was exactly where everybody else was and I didn't sit and sulk. I had my mind made up. I was going to fight for my kid until the death, okay? I was going to fight to the end, and I did it. And it turns out my instincts taught me the way that to fight. My instincts did it. I didn't even need an expert. The guy who taught me, like I told you guys over and over, I'm telling you guys in my free videos 100 times more information than I got from my guy. But at least he tipped me off and gave me some direction to go. And I went and found, in this example, I went and found, that's why I don't tolerate excuses. I'm sitting here, here's some answers. Here comes Michael Jordan with the basketball camp. Here's how, if you want to be a professional, here's the guaranteed way to at least make it to college and maybe make it to the pros. Here's what I did. And then somebody goes, what a braggart. What an idiot. He makes it sound easy. No, I don't make it sound easy. It's simple, but it's a lot of work. You would think all these dads who hate on me are a bunch of women, but they pretty much are. There's some ballless, fruity little soy boys who can't stand like, hey, this works, so now you got to put in work. Like either they're mad because they put in all this work for nothing or did it the wrong way, and now they're mad that somebody succeeded. Or they think I'm saying it was easy. I went through hell my first 7 months. And then I went through hell after that for 20 years. No custodial parent has ever been treated like me in court, like I have been treated. After raising the kid with an abandoning mother, most of you guys would have committed suicide going through the hell that I went through. Anyway, so the letter writing, the link in my bio takes you to my store where there's a packet, $40 for 29 different samples of letters. Whether you need one of those right now in this moment or not, you're going to need that. Or you can learn the lessons from the content that's in there. Or you can just learn the attitude to have in dealing with everybody, not bowing down to them. Countless guys have used these letters to get records, to get money back from their attorney when they fired them, to get the police department to investigate a cop who was violating their rights and telling them to hand over the kid or give them legal advice. The power of letter writing is huge. Use it and learn it. Or get a one-on-one consult with me to learn more details. All right.